Ethan Cooper had always loved quiet nights. After long hours working as a systems engineer, he liked nothing more than sitting on his small porch with a cup of tea, watching the stars. He was 32, single, and had slowly accepted that his life would probably stay calm and simple. His friends often told him to go out more to meet people, but Ethan preferred silence over crowded places. One evening, while scrolling through his phone, he noticed a new dating app called Star-Crossed. Its slogan said, "Find someone beyond your world." Ethan smiled. He thought it sounded poetic, maybe even a bit silly, but he downloaded it anyway. After all, what harm could come from a few swipes? The app was strange. Instead of normal profiles, there were glowing backgrounds, stars moving behind pictures, and messages written in unusual fonts. He filled in his details, uploaded a photo, and answered some questions. One of them made him laugh. "Would you accept a partner from another galaxy?" Ethan chose yes just for fun. That night, he got a notification. "You have one perfect match." The name on the screen was Leora. Her profile photo was beautiful but unusual. Her eyes looked like they were shining softly, and her skin had a faint silver tint. Ethan thought it was just good editing. Her description was short: traveler, exile, seeker of peace. Ethan stared at the screen for a while, then decided to send a message. "Hey Leora, nice to meet you. I like your profile. Are you from around here?" He expected no reply, but within seconds his phone vibrated. "Leora, no, not from your region, but you are the one Star-Crossed chose." Ethan laughed softly. "Okay, mysterious one. Where are you really from?" There was a pause. Then the typing dots appeared again. "Leora, it is complicated. I can explain better if we speak face to face." The app suddenly switched to a video call without impressing anything. Ethan froze as the screen turned bright blue. Then a face appeared. Not just a human face, but something far beyond that. The woman on the screen had long, white silver hair that moved like mist. Her eyes were large, glowing softly with blue light. There were delicate marks along her cheeks, like faint golden lines. Ethan blinked, thinking it was a filter. "Okay, that's some amazing special effect," he said nervously. But the woman tilted her head. "You do not believe what you see?" she asked. Her voice was calm but powerful, almost echoing slightly. Before Ethan could reply, the screen glitched. Strange symbols filled it, then went black. A message appeared. "You have been chosen. Prepare your dwelling." Ethan stared at it, speechless. "What does that even mean?" he whispered. Thinking it was some elaborate prank, he deleted the app and went to bed. The next night, around midnight, Ethan woke up to a strange humming sound. The lights flickered and the air outside shimmered like heat waves. He looked through the window and saw a bright shape in his backyard. A column of light slowly fading. Heart pounding, he grabbed a flashlight and went outside. At the center of the yard stood a tall woman wearing a flowing dark cloak with glowing patterns. Her eyes were the same as the woman from the app. She looked around, then at him. "Ethan Cooper," she said softly. "I have arrived." Ethan's flashlight shook in his hand. Who are you?" "I am Leora, Empress of the Vaith Dominion," she said. "You summoned me through Star-Crossed." Ethan blinked several times. "Wait, what?" "No, it was a dating app. I didn't summon anyone." Leora stepped closer, her cloak glimmering in the moonlight. "Star-Crossed is a system used by my people to find safe alliances across worlds. You accepted the bond. I clicked yes for fun," Ethan said helplessly. She studied him for a moment, her eyes glowing brighter. "Then the stars have strange humor. Still, the bond is active. I cannot return now." Before Ethan could argue, she raised a small device that looked alive, its surface rippling like liquid metal. It emitted a soft hum, scanning his surroundings. "This location will serve as temporary shelter. I am hunted by my enemies, the Jar Coalition. They seek my life and my throne. Your world's obscurity hides me." Ethan took a step back. "This is insane. You're telling me aliens are after you?" "Yes," Leora replied calmly. "And now perhaps after you too. Our lives are linked through the app's agreement." Ethan rubbed his face, trying to process. He wanted to laugh, but the glowing patterns on her cloak and the gentle vibration in the air told him this was not a dream. "Okay, let's say I believe you. What do you want from me?" "Shelter," she said. "Protection until I can rebuild my energy core." Ethan sighed. "You mean stay here?" She nodded once, already walking toward his house as if it belonged to her. The door opened automatically when she waved her hand even though Ethan hadn't unlocked it. Wait, you can't just— I can, she interrupted softly. I must. Inside, she examined his living room like a scientist studying a new world. She tapped his lamp, turned it on and off, and nodded approvingly. Then she opened the refrigerator and peered inside. Your nutrient vault is well stocked. You may survive a siege, Ethan groaned. It's a fridge. And there's no siege. Leora ignored him. She sat gracefully on the couch and touched the wall, causing faint glowing symbols to appear. I am placing protective marks. They will shield us from tracking signals. Ethan stood there in disbelief. His once peaceful home now had an alien Empress installing glowing runes on the walls. I just wanted a quiet night, he muttered. Leora looked up at him. Quiet is over, Ethan Cooper. But your courage will be tested. Perhaps you were chosen for that reason? Ethan stared at her. Tall, calm, and somehow royal even in his messy living room. For the first time he saw not just a strange visitor, but a being who carried both strength and sadness. I don't understand any of this, he said softly, but if you're really in danger, I guess, you can stay. Just don't vaporize my furniture or anything. Leora gave a faint smile. I will do my best to respect your fragile human artifacts. As the night went on, she set up a small hovering orb near the window, a silent guardian glowing faintly blue. Ethan sat on the couch across from her, still dazed. The air felt charged, like something powerful had entered his simple world. He looked at her one more time and whispered, What have I gotten myself into? Leora's eyes reflected the starlight. Fate, she said softly, and perhaps destiny. Outside, the sky flickered with faint lights, distant ships searching. Inside the small house, Earth's quiet night had already changed forever. Since the night Leora arrived, strange sounds filled the house. Soft humming from glowing devices, low whispers of energy moving through walls, and sometimes a gentle vibration under the floor that made the light bulbs flicker. Leora had turned his living room into what she called a temporary command post. Holographic shapes floated above his coffee table, showing strange symbols and spinning stars. Ethan didn't understand half of it, but he noticed one thing, a blinking red mark that pulsed faster every hour. What does that mean? He asked, pointing to the red light. Leora's expression turned serious. It means the Jar Coalition has found a trace. They are near this region. Their scanners have detected my life signature. Ethan swallowed hard. So they're coming here? Yes, Leora said calmly, though her glowing eyes showed concern. But not yet. They are searching carefully. I still have time to strengthen the field that hides us. Ethan rubbed his forehead. This is crazy. I'm an engineer, not a space bodyguard. I don't even know how to defend my own house from raccoons, let alone alien assassins. Leora looked at him for a moment, then said softly, You underestimate yourself, Ethan Cooper. Your kind adapts faster than most species I've met. He laughed nervously. That's flattering, but I don't think adapting means fighting alien hunters. Still, part of him couldn't deny it. Something inside him had changed since she arrived. The fear had slowly turned into curiosity, then a strange sense of duty. He didn't fully trust her yet, but he couldn't let her face danger alone. Later that day, Leora tried to blend in, as she called it. She wanted to understand human life to move unnoticed. Ethan gave her one of his jackets and a pair of sunglasses. The jacket barely fit. She was taller and her presence felt too royal for ordinary clothes. But when she looked at herself in the mirror, she nodded seriously. This disguise is efficient, Ethan smiled awkwardly. You still look like a supermodel from space. Then it shall do, she replied, misunderstanding the joke. They walked to a nearby store so Leora could study local customs. Ethan hoped no one would notice her strange behavior. But she pointed at everything, automatic doors, soda machines, and shelves full of snacks, as if they were advanced relics. When the cashier greeted her, she straightened her posture like a queen. Your energy exchange is accepted, she said, handing over a $10 bill Ethan had given her. The cashier blinked in confusion. Outside, Ethan whispered, You can't talk like that. People will think you're filming a movie. I was polite, she answered calmly. Your people value politeness, yes? Ethan sighed. Yes, but maybe not Royal Declaration level polite. Despite the tension, he couldn't help but smile. She was trying, in her own strange way, That night, however, the humor faded. The red blinking light on Leora's display began flashing rapidly. She stood still, her silver hair glowing faintly in the dark. "They have entered your planet's atmosphere," she said. "3 pursuit ships. They will land within 50 miles. Ethan's heart raced. "Can't we just leave? Drive somewhere far away?" "No," Leora said. "They can track me anywhere on this planet. But we can hide our signal." She picked up one of her alien devices, a circular object that pulsed like a heartbeat, and handed it to Ethan. "I need your help." "Me?" he said in surprise. "What can I do?" "You work with systems," she said. "Machines, circuits. You can modify this to blend our energy pattern into your planet's noise." Ethan looked at the strange device. It was alive, the surface shifted like liquid. But he took a deep breath and nodded. "All right, let's try." For hours they worked together. Leora explained her technology in simple terms, and Ethan combined it with his knowledge of Earth's machines. He connected wires, added old circuit boards, and finally linked it to his home's power supply. When they activated it, the whole house glowed faintly blue, then faded. Leora smiled. "You did it. The field is masking us completely now." Ethan grinned, surprised. "Guess engineers are useful after all." "You are more than useful," Leora said quietly. "You are becoming reliable." It was a rare moment of warmth from her. Ethan didn't know what to say, but he felt something shift between them. Trust. For a while, things seemed calm. Days passed. Ethan returned to work pretending everything was normal. Leora stayed hidden inside, studying human culture through television and books. She was fascinated by Earth's history and art. Sometimes, Ethan found her watching documentaries about ancient civilizations, whispering, "Your kind has always reached for the stars." But peace never lasted long. One evening, as Ethan came home from work, he saw strange lights flickering over the woods behind his house. He rushed inside. "Leora, they're here again, aren't they?" She stood near the window, her face tense. "Yes, a scout drone is searching for me. If it finds this location, more will follow." Ethan felt his throat tighten. "What do we do?" "We fight," she said simply. Ethan stared at her. "Fight with what?" "I don't even have a gun." Leora walked to the window and touched the glass. Her fingertips glowed and small symbols appeared on the surface. "We will not use your primitive weapons. We will use your world's chaos, electricity, sound, and light." Ethan blinked. "You mean human technology?" She nodded. "Your machines are unpredictable. That makes them powerful. And so together they built a defense system using whatever they could find. Old wires, microwave parts, even his backyard Christmas lights." Leora guided him with calm precision, explaining how to link the devices into a pattern that would confuse alien sensors. It took them all night. When the system was ready, Ethan connected the final wire. "I can't believe this might actually work." "It will," Leora said confidently. "The Jar are proud but foolish. They will not expect such improvisation." A loud humming filled the air. Outside, a small silver drone appeared, scanning the house with a red beam. Ethan's heart pounded. "It's right there!" "Wait," Leora said calmly. She pressed a control crystal. The lights around the house blinked. The Christmas lights flashed wildly, creating waves of energy that bent around the drone. The red beam flickered, lost focus, and then the drone spun out of control, crashing into the trees. Ethan exhaled shakily. It worked. It actually worked. Leora smiled faintly. Human creativity. Always surprising, but then her smile faded. This was only a scout. Others will come. They will not stop until they find me. Ethan met her gaze. Then we'll make sure they regret coming. For the first time, Leora didn't correct him. She simply nodded. Then we stand together. As the night deepened, the two sat side by side, surrounded by strange devices and blinking lights. Ethan had once wanted quiet nights, but now he realized he didn't miss them. There was something thrilling about protecting his home, and maybe protecting her too. The night was darker than usual. Clouds covered the moon, and the air felt heavy, like the sky itself was holding its breath. Ethan stood near the window, staring at the glowing symbols Leora had placed on the glass. They pulsed softly, protecting the house. But even through that faint blue light, he could see shadows moving in the distance. Not human shadows, but tall, thin shapes that glowed faintly red. "They're here," he whispered. Leora walked beside him, her cloak shimmering as she activated a control crystal. 3 ships have landed nearby. Their energy signatures match the Tsar Coalition's strike units. They will not negotiate. Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. So this is it. The final round, Leora nodded. Yes, but this time we fight together. She looked calm, but Ethan noticed the tension in her eyes. The proud Empress who once ruled worlds now stood inside a small Earth house, depending on a human engineer and a network of Christmas lights to stay alive. Yet something about that made Ethan strangely proud. Humanity had always faced impossible odds and then somehow found a way through. Outside, the trees trembled. A red beam scanned across the yard, melting frost from the grass. Leora raised her hand and the symbols on the walls glowed brighter, forming a protective barrier around the house. They are testing our shield, she said quietly. They will find a weak point soon. Ethan rushed to his workstation, a messy table covered in wires, old batteries, and broken appliances. Then we'll give them something they can't test, he said. I've been working on something. He pointed to a set of microwave ovens lined up near the wall, all connected with cables to an old satellite dish on the roof. If I link these to your energy grid, it'll overload their sensors. It's like an electromagnetic storm. Their cloaks will flicker and we'll see where they're hiding. Leora raised an eyebrow, half amused. Your machines are unpredictable. And dangerous. Exactly, Ethan said. That's why it might work. For a moment she studied him, this human with messy hair, shaking hands and fearless eyes. Then she smiled softly. You remind me of the first explorers of my world. They also built wonders from nothing. They worked side by side as the humming outside grew louder. Strange lights flickered through the clouds and the ground vibrated. Leora's glowing marks on the floor started to fade. The shield was weakening. Almost ready, Ethan shouted. He connected the final wire, sparks flying as the devices powered up. The lights dimmed and a deep hum filled the room. Then, through the front window, 3 alien figures appeared. They were tall, armored, with sharp glowing lines across their bodies. Their helmets had red visors that shone like molten glass. One of them raised an arm, pointing a weapon that looked alive, then it pulsed with energy, preparing to fire. Leora! Ethan yelled. She raised both hands, summoning a wall of blue light that exploded outward like a wave. The first blast from the alien weapon hit the barrier and scattered into glowing dust. The house shook but held. Activate your storm, she commanded. Ethan flipped the main switch. Instantly, the house erupted in light. The Christmas decorations flashed wildly. The microwaves buzzed, and the satellite dish on the roof glowed white-hot. A loud crack echoed through the air, followed by a sharp hum that made the aliens stagger. Their red cloaks flickered, revealing their true forms. Metallic armor and glowing circuits beneath their skin. They're visible, Ethan shouted. Leora moved like lightning. She leaped forward, a blur of blue energy, and struck the first alien with a beam of pure light. The creature fell back, its armor cracking. The second alien aimed again, but Ethan triggered an EMP pulse. The weapon sparked and died in its hands. The third attacker tried to flee toward the woods, but Leora extended her hand and a wave of shimmering energy pushed him back like a storm wind. The night became chaos. Light, sound, and fire mixing together. The hum of human machines joined the power of alien energy, creating something new and unpredictable. Sparks flew, branches snapped, and the smell of ozone filled the air. Ethan ducked behind the couch as another blast hit the shield. They're regrouping! I can hold them, Leora said, though her voice was strained. Her glowing marks dimmed. She was using too much energy. Ethan's eyes darted to his generator. No, you need power. I'll boost the signal. He ran to the garage and connected the generator directly to her device. The machine roared to life, lights flashing brighter than before. Leora's barrier surged again, stronger than ever, turning into a dome of blue light that surrounded the house and part of the yard. The Jar attackers fired once more, but their weapons shattered against the dome. One of them shouted something in a strange language before being lifted off the ground by Leora's energy wave. In seconds, they vanished into streaks of light that shot back into the sky, retreating. Silence fell. The air was thick with smoke and fading sparks. The shield slowly dimmed, and the machines around the room went quiet. Ethan leaned against the wall, breathing heavily. Did we win? Leora nodded, though her steps were slow. For now. The message is clear. They know I'm not alone anymore. Ethan looked at her, half smiling. And I guess they'll think twice before messing with Earth. Leora gave a faint laugh, the first real laugh he'd heard from her. Yes, they will fear your planet's strange inventions. Ethan walked to the door and opened it carefully. The night air was cool again. Above them, the stars looked peaceful, as if nothing had happened. But he knew that somewhere out there the story of tonight would spread. That an alien Empress had found safety on a small blue world, protected by a human with old machines and too much courage. When he turned back, Leora was standing quietly watching him. You could have left, she said softly. You could have run. But you stayed, Ethan shrugged. Someone had to make sure you didn't blow up my house. Leora smiled. You are a rare kind, Ethan Cooper. Your people value peace but never fear the storm. That is why your world will rise one day. Not by force, but by spirit. He smiled back. So what happens now? You go back to your world? Leora looked at the stars again. Not yet. My throne can wait. For now, I wish to learn more about this planet. About humanity. And perhaps, she paused, about friendship. Ethan nodded slowly. Well, you can start by learning how to make coffee without using plasma energy. She tilted her head, curious. Plasma energy sounds more efficient. Yeah, Ethan said with a grin. But less cozy. They stood together on the porch as the first light of dawn touched the sky. The warships were gone and peace slowly returned. Birds began to sing, unaware that a galactic battle had just ended in this quiet neighborhood. Ethan took a deep breath of morning air. His life was no longer quiet, but he didn't mind anymore. Beside him stood a being from another world, someone powerful, mysterious, and yet somehow human in her heart. And for the first time in years, Ethan felt something he hadn't felt before. Purpose. As the sun rose, Leora whispered, Your world is small, but its heart is vast. Perhaps this is where new empires are born, not of power, but of courage. Ethan smiled. Welcome home, Leora. The Empress of the Vaith Dominion, now a quiet guest of Earth, watched the sunrise beside the man who had once just wanted peace. Together they faced the dawn of something greater, the beginning of a friendship that would echo across the stars.